Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. And today, guys, I would like to take you on a tour so that you can see what I have growing, what needs to be harvested, or what needs to be fed with additional fertilizer, what have you, just to give you a tour. And I'll be taking you to each of the vegetable garden areas so that you can see the progress of each one of them. And I'm going to start over in this garden area. And here in front of us we have the banana peppers. And as you can see, it's time to start harvesting some of these. They're getting quite large. And there are five banana pepper plants here. And they are doing really beautiful. More flowers coming in on the top. Over here I have my baby bok choy that I'm allowing to go to seed. I also have, these are the radishes here going to seed, and over here is the baby bok choy, and it's looking pretty dried. I think I can probably come in now and pull these up and store them for later in the fall if I decide to have a fall garden, or early spring of next year. Over here to my right is my Swiss chard. I have onions and a few kale plants. And I've been harvesting from my garden area every 2 weeks for the farmers market. And it looks like the more I harvest, the more they continue to grow, which is such a blessing. So I won't be harvesting anything from here today because I'll wait until next week in time for the farmers market. Here you see my lettuce is still doing beautifully, and I think it's because it's in a sort of a semi-shady area, as you can see here. The romaine lettuce is also still doing fine. And guys, I have a lot of peaches that continue to fall off of the peach tree. Over here are some potatoes, and as you can see, they are beginning to yellow. So I'm thinking that within the next several weeks, I'll be able to harvest potatoes from this area. Over here, I have some collards, kale, and onions. And again, as I've stated, I've been harvesting every 2 weeks from these. In this bed, I have strawberries and onions, and the strawberries are not doing well. There's only a few in here now. However, there were 25 planted that I received from the Carolina Gardener. They were the white pineberry strawberries. And so what I'm thinking about doing, because this is a lot of space for just a few strawberries and onions, I'll probably add a few pepper plants and eggplants into this area to take advantage of the space. And I might just move the few strawberries that are growing to another area. In these pots here along the fence, I have some cucumbers that I've recently sown. Here are some tomatoes, and as you can see, the tomatoes are coming in nicely. Need to be staked up. This is just another one of those peaches, but as you can see, they're flowering as well. Over here is a container of the Sweet 100s, and as you can see, they have tomatoes coming in everywhere. Also here and here. Over in this area, this is my cut flower bed, and as you can see, because of all the rain, the grass wants to take over. But I have some zinnias and other things that are coming up. The butterfly bush is in bloom. Here are more tomatoes, and they are flowering and putting on fruit as well. Some of these tomatoes were planted in early spring and were affected by frost damage, but what I did is I just continued to sow, not sow, but to put in additional tomato plants in the container and just left the ones that had a little frost damage to see if they would do anything. But I'm looking at this one here and it doesn't look like it's going to do much, so I'm going to replace these tomatoes with some other ones that I have on hand. Here's another cucumber. This is the bed with my asparagus, and this is where I'll probably add some more of those strawberries so that I can have space for other things in that bed. Over here to the right is more collards, spinach that's going to seed, and a few onions in here. Over here are my mustard greens and turnips. And guys, I have harvested from this bed at least 4 times already, and they continue to grow and do really well. I noticed that a lot of the mustards are going to seed, but I'm going to not harvest today, maybe next week in time for the farmers market. The turnips are here on the other side, as you can see, where I've just been chopping away, harvesting each time I need to get some of these to sell at the market. Here is my broccoli, and of course I had to sow more broccoli the last couple of weeks. And then over here I have my cabbage and Brussels sprouts. And these cabbages look like they are ready. They are quite big, as you can see. This one is a nice size as well. Also this one. And with the Brussels sprouts, it's time for me to remove the lower leaves and to allow the Brussels sprouts to form, but I'll do that in another video and share that with you. But as you can see here, more of the cabbage is ready. The cabbages on the front side are not doing as well as the ones toward the back. I'm not sure why, but it is time for me to do a little fertilizing. The fig tree is doing well. The peaches are holding on over there. This is the herb bed, and a lot of things are going to seed. They've just been growing faster than I can harvest. I have some onions in here that I need to harvest very soon. And as you can see, they are pretty nice size down there, if you could see. Some are on the smaller end. Guys, would you look at the corn? It is taller than me now, doing really well. The green beans, look at it. The water has done wonders for the green beans, and every last one of them is putting on flowers for green beans. So I'm really looking forward to that. Over here are bags of potatoes, and they're still nice and green, so it's going to be quite a while before they're ready. Over here on the ground, I don't know if you can see it, but I have some okra. There's another one. Over here in this wheelbarrow, I have my spearmint, and this is a wheelbarrow that I left water in over winter several years ago, and the freezing temperatures, the ice caused the wheelbarrow to crack and split, and so I could no longer use it for any other purpose. And so I just went on and put some spearmint in here, and this is its second year in this container. Over here I have some peppers. These are the Serrano chili peppers. Here's my little $1 grapevine. Over here I have squash and zucchini, and some of them, as you can see, are starting to flower. Over here are more potatoes. This is my potato lane, and some of them are starting to die back. So I'll be harvesting some potatoes pretty soon, as you can see here. Right in front of me here are my tomatoes, and I need to get in here and remove a lot of these bottom leaves and then attach it to this trellis. But just want to share with you how the tomatoes are coming on here. You can see they're coming in nicely. Just needs to be staked and pruned back. More tomatoes here coming. Same thing with this one. Tomatoes are forming nicely, lots of flowers. Tomatoes on these all as well. Okay. Over here I have more green beans, and they are also flowering. The grass is trying to grow up around my loofah gourds, but as you can see here, it's starting to vine. I need to remove some of this grass, but as you can see here, it's vining. And I lost the one in the middle, but here is the other one here. Over here I have some bok choy that's going to seed. The beets look like I can harvest some of these beets. And here's the last, or the remaining, of my celery. The rest of them I didn't get a chance to get out here and get these watered, and so I've lost a lot of them. Here I have my black beans. They've had a lot of yellowing because of all of the rain, so I need to fertilize and give them a good watering. Not so much fertilizer because they're nitrogen fixing, but just a little something, maybe some 5-11 and a little Epsom salt might do it. Here I have my field peas, and as you can see, they have filled this bed in very nicely. And so this is what the garden is looking like in early June. The corn is doing really well. I'm noticing that the ones in the back are not as tall as the ones in the front. So going forward for next year, what I'm going to do is plant a few rows in the back first, then wait about 2 weeks, and then start more planting in the front. That way they would have a chance to grow up a bit, and get natural sunlight. Here I have my plum tree, and they have turned red. It's turned red. Still a little hard, so I might leave it just a little bit longer. But I only have a few that remained on the tree, so hopefully there's another one there. Hopefully I'll get a chance to, and I see about 2 more, get a chance to taste at least one plum this year. I've said I've got about 2 or 3 peaches hanging on. Hopefully this tree will do better than this other one here that's not doing a thing. But this is the market garden, and I've got some trees that are trying to grow along this fence line mixed in with my grapes, and so I'm gonna have to try to dig it up or cut those branches back, but just want to share with you how the grapes are coming in all along this fence line. And it's like this all the way down from one side of the fence to the other. And as I've stated, these other leaves are also covering it, and I need to get those trimmed back. I have more potatoes here. This is a pepper from last year, and more potatoes here. And over here, guys, I need to start harvesting these blackberries. As you can see, they are turning black. And so you really need to be coming out here every day so that you can harvest them as they become ready, or the birds will get to it. And it's like this on this side of the fence, as well as over here on the other side of the fence. So I'll do some harvesting of blackberries today. I need to get these onions out of this bed ASAP because they're not going to get any bigger. In fact, you see how they're all just going to seed. Over here, these mustards, they're not going to do anything. I'm going to pull them out. They've had enough time to really grow, but of course the moment it starts to get hot, they don't do well. And my red giant mustard is going to seed. I'll just keep one plant for the seeds. Over here you see my Swiss chard. I can harvest from it, but I think I might wait until next week for the farmers market to harvest here. More mustards that are not doing anything. They've been this size for weeks. So this is all going to be pulled out and something else will go in its place. I also have a collard here, collard green plant that's going to seed, and it's almost time. As soon as these dry, I'll be able to grab all of these seeds for collard greens. And this is the other side of the blackberry plant, and as you can see, all the blackberries that are coming in and have turned red or have turned black. Would you look at this sage? My goodness, you would not believe that I've been cutting off of this every time I scheduled to go to the farmers market. I cut from these herbs, and it looks like the more I cut from them, the more they grow. Over here, I need to get in here and get all this wonderful smelling lavender, as you see here, and make some essential oil. I have a parsley here that's overgrown, and this is what happens when we get a lot of rain and I'm unable to get into the garden for a period of time. Things just overgrow. But I hope you can see this lavender, how beautiful it is. Lots of beautiful purple flowers that I will be using to make an essential lavender oil that I can use for my skin, for my hair, to make sachets, just whatever I would like to make. I think I have twice as much this year of lavender than I did last year, so I'm really grateful for that. Over here, the sugar snap peas are starting to turn yellow, and so I need to go in here and harvest more of these. As you can see, it seems like their season this year is so short because I've only had a few harvests of the sugar snap peas. Here is my potato bed, and as you can see, there's a lot of yellowing, and so I'll be harvesting potatoes pretty soon. I know it's going to be this month. I'm not sure if it'll be next week or week after next, but as soon as all of the leaves turn yellow and die back, I'll be able to harvest. Here I have lots of tomatoes coming in, and as I've stated, I need to start removing these dead limbs and attaching them to this rail. And oh, this is a nice big one coming here, as you can see. More tomatoes here. In this area I have my blueberries. Oh, these look like they might be ready. Look at there. These are the lemonade blueberries. I'm going to try a couple of these. This is my lemon balm. I've harvested from it. I've got peppermint. This is more lemon balm here. And spearmint in the back. I've harvested from all of those. The blueberries, as you can see here, are also setting fruit. I have another sugar snap pea plant here, as you can see, and I need to get all of these harvested today. Okay, over in this bed here, I have more peppers and onions and eggplant. This was kale and baby bok choy. Some of these onions are trying to get big, and I need to get in here and just remove the soil from it to allow the bulb to get bigger. Just move the soil back from around it. And also I think I'm going to cut these tops back, but I'll save that for another video to show you how you can increase the size of your onions. Over here I have more sugar snap peas, and as you can see, the beans are all over here. I need to get in here and get them and then stake this back up, but there are more peppers and eggplant in here. This is more of the grapes here. These are the muscadine grapes, as you can see. Lots of grapes. This butterfly bush is going to be cut back as soon after it flowers. More peppers and eggplant here. Here's a tomato plant, and as you can see, it's putting on some nice fruit here. You can see that. More grapes here. Tomatoes. I have some more celery there, and my dill is already trying to go to seed. But I have more tomatoes here. This is my kale plant, and I have allowed it to go to seed. As you can see here, I'll be harvesting from it also very soon. Here's some green beans right here. Raspberries going wild. Needs to be trimmed back. Guys, would you look at these tomatoes here? Lots of tomatoes. This is another one that needs to be staked up. Tomatoes on it. More tomatoes. Tomatoes. Then I have some peppers here. Strawberries. Tomatoes on all of these. Everything needs a good fertilizing because of all of the rain we've had. And as you can see here, a lot of these raspberries are ready. I need to get in here and get to all of these because they're everywhere, all under these places here. And as I've stated, these are my red onions. More blackberries here along this fence. And onions. They didn't really get very big, but whatever it is, I'll have to take it because it's going to seed. Here's my Texas Store hibiscus. Doing really well. It has grown several inches since I last did a tour. And in this bed I have my cayenne peppers and more of the yellow onions in this bed. Over here I have all my plants that I've been propagating on this table here. And I have my olive trees, fig trees that I've propagated. More here. I've just been looking for places to put them because I'm running out of space, so I'm using this old table for that. But here is my sweet potato area, as you can see here. And I have one more vegetable area, and that is for my watermelon and cantaloupe. And that is this area here. And as you can see, the watermelon is coming up nicely. And so that is it, guys. This is the tour of everything that I have growing in the vegetable garden. And this is how everything is looking in early June. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. And if you're new to my channel, I hope that you would consider subscribing. Hit the like button and the notification bell for future videos. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.